I just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all the stuff I'm supposed to.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake.
Can a single spark on live TV ignite a cultural earthquake? In January 2025, a fiery clash between a political prodigy and a daytime TV titan did just that, unleashing a saga that's rewriting the rules of media warfare. Karoline Leavitt, the youngest White House press secretary in history at just 27, and Whoopi Goldberg, the unfiltered queen of The View, didn't just trade barbs. They sparked a firestorm of rumors, outrage, and existential questions about truth in the digital age. Whispers of an $800 million defamation lawsuit, ABC's corporate panic, and Goldberg's career teetering on the edge have gripped millions. This isn't just drama. It's a reckoning that exposes the cracks in legacy media's armor. Buckle up, because this story is a labyrinth of intrigue, deception, and power plays, and it's wilder than any reality TV plot. Stick around. Things are about to unravel in ways you won't see coming. Let's set the stage. January 2025. Karoline Leavitt steps up to the White House podium for her debut press briefing under the second Trump administration. She's young, polished, and radiating confidence. When a reporter presses her on a controversial federal funding pause, Leavitt doesn't flinch. No more taxpayer dollars for transgenderism and wokeness in government agencies, she declares, her voice steady but sharp. The clip explodes online, racking up millions of views in hours. On X, conservative voices crown her a fearless trailblazer, while progressive outlets brand her words a dangerous dog whistle. It's a classic culture war moment, dividing the internet into cheering squads and outrage mobs. But nobody could have predicted the collision course this set in motion. Across town, The View's studio is buzzing. Whoopi Goldberg, with decades of TV dominance under her belt, seizes the moment. "Let me explain something," she says, her tone cutting like a knife. "Without that wokeness you're trashing, you might not have that job. Women weren't exactly welcomed at that table." Joy Behar, ever the provocateur, smirks and piles on, "Trump probably thinks she's a 10, that's why she's there." The audience roars with laughter, but online the reaction is a powder keg. Was this a bold critique of Leavitt's politics or a cheap shot at her success? The fuse is lit, and the explosion is coming. Within hours, X becomes a digital coliseum. Conservative influencers rally behind Leavitt, accusing Goldberg of hypocrisy. How can she preach empowerment while tearing down a young woman? One post, liked 100,000 times, demands. Others defend Goldberg, arguing she was exposing how social progress paved Leavitt's path. Hashtags like Karoline Fights Back and Whoopi Wrong trend globally, each side digging in. But then, the narrative takes a surreal turn. Rumors of a lawsuit erupt. Posts claim Leavitt slapped The View with an $800 million defamation suit, alleging the hosts orchestrated a vicious takedown. YouTube videos surface, supposedly showing Goldberg crumbling in court, her confidence shattered, her career in free fall. The story grows legs. ABC's in chaos, sponsors are bailing, and Goldberg's days are numbered. Clips of the alleged courtroom drama rack up 50 million views, fueled by hashtags like Starnder Justice for Karoline and Yarner Cancel The View. It's the kind of scandal that thrives on clicks and fury, dominating feeds worldwide. But here's the twist. What if this blockbuster tale is pure fiction? The truth is stranger, darker, and far more revealing than the myth, and you're about to dive into the chaos. Those lawsuit rumors? They're a mirage, spun from thin air. Fact-checkers like Snopes and Lead Stories have torn the claims apart, finding zero evidence of an $800 million defamation case, no court filings, no Goldberg meltdown. The viral videos trace back to YouTube channels like Magnet TV, notorious for crafting sensationalized what-if narratives for ad revenue. One clip, viewed 15 million times, even carries a fine print disclaimer, for entertainment purposes only. So why did millions swallow the bait? Because this fiction tapped into a raw, pulsating truth. Leavitt's anti-wokeness stance, And Goldberg's fiery rebuttal struck at the heart of 2025's culture wars, where every word is a landmine and every soundbite can rally an army. The public didn't just want a lawsuit. They craved a showdown, a moment where a media giant like The View would finally face consequences. When the real story, two women sparring over ideology, felt too tame, the internet scripted a courtroom. Epic. But don't click away yet, because the real drama lies in what this saga exposes, and it's about to get uglier. Let's talk about Whoopi Goldberg, a woman who's been dodging lightning bolts for decades. Her career is a masterclass in resilience, but it's also a magnet for controversy. In 2022, ABC suspended her for 2 weeks after she claimed on The View that the Holocaust wasn't about race, a remark that ignited a firestorm. Her apology, posted on X, did little to calm the outrage, with "Narn Fire Whoopi" trending for days. She's also faced backlash for defending figures like Bill Cosby during his legal battles and for sparring with co-hosts like Meghan McCain, who later called the show's environment toxic in her 2021 memoir. Goldberg's style, bold, unfiltered, part preacher, part provocateur, has made her a cultural icon, but it's also painted a bullseye on her back. When she took aim at Leavitt, critics saw it as classic Whoopi, preaching empowerment while dismissing a young woman's achievements. Supporters, though, argue she was calling out Leavitt's rhetoric as a betrayal of feminist progress. The truth? Goldberg's a tightrope walker, and this feud might be her riskiest act yet. But there's more to her story, and it's a wild ride. Goldberg's journey to The View wasn't a straight line. It's a saga of reinvention. Born Karen Johnson in 1955, she clawed her way from a struggling stand-up comic to an EGOT winner with iconic roles in The Color Purple and Ghost. By the time she joined The View in 2007, she was a household name, bringing gravitas to a show, known for its chaotic debates. But her tenure hasn't been smooth. In 2010, she walked off set during a heated argument with Bill O'Reilly over Islamophobia. In 2018, she clashed with Jeanine Pirro in a backstage shouting match that leaked to TMZ. Each incident cemented her as a lightning rod, loved for her candor, loathed for her bluntness. The Leavitt feud fits this pattern, but it's different. This time, the backlash isn't just from pundits, it's from a generation raised on X, where every misstep is a viral clip. Goldberg's built a career on surviving storms, but can she weather one fueled by algorithms and outrage? That's the question nobody's answering yet. Now, let's zoom in on The View itself, a show that's both a cultural titan and a lightning rod. Since its 1997 debut, created by Barbara Walters, it's been a juggernaut, blending celebrity gossip, political sparring, and raw emotion into daytime TV gold. But its strength, unscripted, fiery debates, has also been its Achilles heel. Conservative viewers have long accused the hosts of ganging up on right-leaning guests, from Ann Coulter to Candace Owens. High-profile exits tell a story. Rosie O'Donnell stormed out in 2007 after clashing with Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Meghan McCain left in 2021, citing a toxic culture. The Leavitt rumor mill, though fictional, tapped into a real perception. The View thrives on drama, and its producers know it. A 2023 Variety report revealed the show employs segment coordinators tasked with crafting viral moments. Leaked emails from a 2021 production meeting, published by an ex-staffer, showed producers plotting to push Meghan McCain's buttons for ratings. Sound orchestrated? That's because it is. The Leavitt feud, real or not, exposed The View's tightrope walk between entertainment and accountability, and one misstep could send it crashing. Let's dig deeper into The View's machine. Behind the colorful mugs and glossy smiles is a production engine built for chaos. Insiders say the show's staff includes conflict scouts who monitor X for trending topics to fuel debates. A 2022 Hollywood Reporter piece detailed how producers brief hosts before segments, suggesting hot-button angles to spark reactions. When Goldberg and Bahar targeted Leavitt, it wasn't just spontaneous TV, it was a calculated move to ride the culture war wave. But that strategy comes with risks. The fake lawsuit rumors gain traction because viewers already distrust the show's motives. X post with 200,000 likes called The View a scripted hit job, while others praised its willingness to challenge power. ABC's been tight-lipped, but sources say the network's legal team is on high alert, auditing past episodes to avoid future blow-ups. Will they tame the chaos or lean into it? That's a gamble with stakes higher than ratings. Now, let's pivot to the bigger picture, the media landscape in 2025. Trust in legacy outlets like ABC is crumbling. A 2024 Gallup poll found just 31% of Americans have confidence in major news organizations, down from 46% in 2015. Meanwhile, platforms like X have become the new town square, where narratives are born and buried in real time. When Goldberg criticized Leavitt, it wasn't just a TV moment, it was a spark in a tinderbox. The lawsuit rumors spread because people are starving for accountability. They see media giants as untouchable, dishing out hot takes with no consequences. A 2024 Pew Research study found 62% of Americans get news from social media, and half admit they rarely verify sources. That's why a fake story about Goldberg crumbling could amass 50 million views. But it's also why this saga matters. It's a case study in how truth gets drowned out by noise. And that noise is only getting louder. While Goldberg and The View grapple with the fallout, Karoline Leavitt is soaring. She didn't sue, but she didn't stay silent. In a December 2024 Fox News interview, she fired back at Goldberg and Behar, accusing them of smearing conservatives as conspiracy theorists while being wrong about everything. Her delivery, calm, razor-sharp, no notes, won her a cult following. On X, her press briefings regularly hit 2 million views, with hashtags like "A Caroline Stands Tall" and media accountability trending worldwide. At 27, she's being called a Gen Z icon, a leader who fights with facts, not tantrums. Even skeptics are taking notice. A CNN analyst dubbed her strategically flawless, while a center-left Substack writer admitted she's outsmarting the old guard. Leavitt's not just surviving the media gauntlet, she's dismantling it, one soundbite at a time. But who is she really? Let's peel back the curtain. Leavitt's rise is no accident. It's a masterclass in strategy. Born in New Hampshire, she was a political junkie early on, leading the college Republicans at St. Anselm College and interning for Fox News. In 2022, she ran for Congress in New Hampshire's 1st District, losing a tight race, but earning respect for her relentless campaign. She later joined Trump's team, serving as a spokesperson during the 2024 campaign, where her knack for deflecting tough questions with a smile made her a standout. Her anti-wokeness stance isn't new. She's been railing against PC culture since her college days. But what sets her apart is her poise. When Goldberg and Behar took their shots, Leavitt didn't rant or play victim. She waited, then struck back on Fox, letting the narrative build. It's a playbook for the X era. Stay cool, pick your moment, and let the internet amplify your voice. Some are already betting on her future, a Senate run, maybe even a 2032 presidential bid. Bold? Sure, but Leavitt's proving she's no fluke. Let's zoom out again. This saga, part truth, part myth, is a snapshot of 2025's fractured reality. It's a world where a single clip can spark a global uprising, where a fake lawsuit can outshine facts, and where trust is a rare gem. The $800 million rumor gained traction because people are desperate for justice. They're tired of media, titans dodging accountability. Goldberg's comments, Leavitt's clapback, and the internet's frenzy show how fast a spark can become a wildfire. But they also reveal a deeper craving for voices that cut through the static, for consequences that aren't just trending hashtags. If a fabricated story can rattle The View, what happens when a real scandal hits? And what does it say about a media landscape where truth is just one option among many? These questions aren't rhetorical, they're the heart of this story. Let's add another layer. The role of social media in weaponizing narratives. X isn't just a platform, it's a battlefield where algorithms reward outrage. A 2024 study by MIT found that false stories spread 6 times faster than true ones on social media, driven by emotional triggers like anger and fear. The Leavitt lawsuit rumor was textbook. It tapped into distrust of the View, amplified by bots and influencers chasing clout. One X account with 500,000 followers posted a doctored clip of Goldberg crying in court, earning 3 million views before being flagged. But the damage was done. This isn't new. Remember the 2020 election misinformation waves? What's different in 2025 is the scale. With X's real-time reach and YouTube's ad-driven ecosystem, a single post can reshape reality before fact-checkers can blink. That's why this saga isn't just about Leavitt or Goldberg, it's about who controls the story. And speaking of control, let's talk about ABC's behind-the-scenes scramble. The network hasn't commented publicly, but insiders paint a picture of chaos. A 2025 Deadline report claimed ABC's legal team is auditing every The View episode from the past 2 years, flagging segments with political guests for potential liabilities. Sponsors are getting skittish. A luxury skincare brand quietly paused ads, and a car company is reassessing its contract. Staffers are nervous too. A Reddit thread by an alleged production assistant described panic meetings where producers debated toning down the show's edge. Meanwhile, Goldberg's contract is under a microscope. Sources say ABC's reviewing her moral clauses, a legal term for behavior that could harm the brand. Could they push her out? A 2023 precedent CNN firing Don Lemon after controversial remarks suggests it's possible. But axing Goldberg, a 17-year veteran, would be a seismic move. ABC's playing chess, and every move is a risk. Now, let's shine a light on you, the viewer. You're not just watching this saga, you're driving it. Every click, like, and retweet shapes the narrative. When the lawsuit rumors spread, it wasn't just bots, it was millions of people hitting play on those viral clips. A 2024 Pew Research study found 62% of Americans get news from social media and half don't check sources. That's why a fake story about Goldberg breaking down could dominate feeds. But it's also why your voice matters. You decide what trends, what fades, what holds weight. So what's your verdict? Is this feud a wake-up call for media giants or just another blip in the outrage cycle? Are you Team Leavitt, Team Goldberg, or just here for the chaos? Your take could be the one that tips the scale, so don't hold back. So, what's the final word? Whoopi Goldberg and Karoline Leavitt didn't meet in court, but their clash cracked open a fault line in the media world. The View's still standing, but its shine is fading. Leavitt's proving you don't need a gavel to win, just a mic and a strategy. And the public? They're watching, ready to pounce on the next misstep. Is this the end of legacy media's untouchable era? Or just another chapter in The View's chaotic, clickbaiting reign? One thing's clear, in 2025, truth is a battlefield and this saga is ground zero. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everyone. Smash that like button if you believe accountability cuts through fame. Subscribe for more dives into stories the mainstream won't touch. And share this with someone who thinks The View is just harmless chatter. Because what just happened? It wasn't fluff. It was a warning shot, and the real firestorm's still on the horizon.